So the Carolina Panthers had the #1 priority for the waiver wire order, and they put it to good use after cut day. They claimed 6 players off of waivers, which was beyond the league lead in terms of the amount of players. And in a follow-up interview, head coach Dave Canales was asked about some of those moves and the aggressiveness that they made, and this is what he had to say.
Kind of unusual to claim 3 guys at one position off the waiver. I mean, are you concerned about the cornerback position right now?
Not now. I mean, we got guys to look at, so it's just, again, gathering as much information. We were hoping for somebody to just step up and take it, and really show us. And the guys showed us what they could do. But, for me, it's my responsibility, Dan and I, our responsibility to really bring in the traits and the type of guys that we're looking for. So I'm excited to get a look at these guys.
Now, that was pretty cold-blooded and savage by Dave Canales, and he kept it real. And I actually have to respect his honesty, and he said a lot there, but I also think that the moves that they made on the waiver wire and just him talking and just the feel of this team right now, I thought it sent a very, very loud message to the public, to the team, and just to the NFL. So in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly that message was and what this means for the team going forward. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed. My name is Aaron Duncan with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I drop in all kind of videos as we lead up to the season, live streams after the game, and film breakdowns as well. So if you don't want to miss anything Panthers related, make sure you are subscribed and give this video a thumbs up. Please, it really helps me out because we have to talk about the gravity of what really happened at that waiver claim. Now, we knew that there's tough decisions to be made regardless because you have to go from typically 90 players down to 53 and you cut 47 guys. Yes, you can bring some guys back on practice squad, but there was just some guys that Panthers fans may have gotten used to or maybe had put in their plans of what could potentially role they may play for the team going forward. And they're no longer here. I mean, if you didn't hear Dave Canales, he pretty much said that, hey, they were worried about the cornerback position, but they aren't anymore. The fact that they brought in that many corners this close to the game, granted, it was 10 days out from their first week 1 game. That tells me that they really weren't happy with the performance they were getting. They were fair enough to give those guys an opportunity to step up and see what they could do, but it just wasn't fitting the bill. So the fact that they wanted to make these types of moves says a lot. Now, the cornerback position is very, very unique for the Panthers because, of course, they have J.C. Horn, and opposite of him, it's pretty much been a question mark. They did sign Dane Jackson in free agency, but they never really got what they wanted from him before he ended up getting hurt, and now he's out 6 weeks. So they had to figure out what to do. They did make a trade last week to obtain Michael Jackson from the Seattle Seahawks, but they did not stop there. The fact that they went after 4 other corners lets you know that they have a certain thing that they're looking for, and the guys that we had before weren't fitting the bill. And the common denominator of all these corners is their traits and their long, tougher, lean corners that can run. And with a division when you have guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Drake London, you need corners that have length. And the system that Ejiro Evero runs with a lot more zone-heavy concepts, you need to have those type of taller, rangier cornerbacks that can play off coverage, and that's exactly what they tried to go for. I mean, business is business in the NFL, man. You really can't try to protect people's feelings, and clearly they weren't comfortable with the guys that were here and how they fit into the system that they want to run. But speaking of comfort and fit, I mean, I've been telling you guys all summer about just how I'm about comfort and style when it comes to my clothing, so that's why I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Chubbies. So I've been wearing the original stretch shorts, and I can't even lie, man. Their elastic waistband is super, super comfortable. So when it comes to true style and comfort in terms of men's shorts, you really can't do any better than the original stretch shorts that Chubbies has. And them shorts pretty much is the reason why Chubbies is on the map to this day. And some of you may not be big fans of wearing shorts with your thighs out and stuff like that because you may skip leg day, but the thing is they're available in inseams of 4 inches, 5.5 inches, and 7 inches. So whatever your flavor is, they got you covered, literally. Plus, these shorts are made with some of the stretchiest fabric I've seen with some shorts. You add that with that elastic waistband I've been telling you guys about, and you have maximum flexibility for maximum comfort. But the thing is, you can pair the original shorts with some of the chubby stuff in their lineup, including the Friday shirts, and now you're really gonna be in there. These shirts are built perfect for kicking it at a cookout, maybe you're hitting up a tailgate, or even going out during the day and enjoying the time with your friends at a brewery. And would you look at that, folks? For a limited time, my friends at Chubbies are giving a discount to my listeners and subscribers, 20% off with the promo code UBSports when you go to chubbiesshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with code Sports at chubbiesshorts.com. So support our show. Tell them that I sent you. Elevate your game and go ahead and shop now to discover why Chubbies is the MVP of men's shorts. And don't just watch the game, live in Chubbies. Even general manager Dan Morgan had things to say about what they're looking for and what fit the bill for them. Here it is.
I think we're looking to upgrade at every turn and, just kind of build our roster the right way. And, I think when you bring corners in with the size and the profile that we bought in yesterday, they're the type of guys we're looking for. It's a big man's league. So we want some big corners out there that are physical, can run, and do the type of things that we want to do from a schematic standpoint. So we feel like we got better there. Yeah, I don't think it's any specific. I think just, when I got the job, just kind of like regathering and talking to Idro, talking to the staff, talking to Coach Canales. We talked about how we wanted to build this team and the type of profiles that we want by position. And, we all came down to, the size, the length, just guys with that athletic profile that we're looking for. So, we're really sticking to that. And, I think as we continue to build, I think you'll see more and more of that. Now, there's always the exception, right? But, profile-wise, we have our profiles, and we're going to stick to it, and we're going to be disciplined.
I think it's refreshing to hear the fact that they're not going to sit on their hands. They actually know what they're looking for. They wanted to give the guys that they had a chance, like Dave Canales said, but they didn't work out. And the fact that they didn't work out, they had to get up out of here. They may be willing to make exceptions, like Dan Morgan said, but the exceptions that they had on the roster just weren't cutting it, so they went out and made the moves. Kudos to them, because this is a bold strategy to bring in a whole batch of players 10, 12 days before your first game. So most of the guys that's going to be competing for that cornerback spot opposite of J.C. Horn weren't a Panther last week. They didn't play any preseason games with the Panthers. It's going to be funny to see how things work out, and very, very interesting to pay attention how this rolls out, because the fact that they felt comfortable enough to do that on such short notice lets you know how dire the situation was at corner for them. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. But at the same time, you have to feel good about the fact that they're not sitting on their hands and just waiting to see how it plays out. And they're going to go ahead and make things happen in the best way that they can. But with the team making such an unprecedented change at a key position like cornerback, it just lets you know where their head was. The message that it sends to me is that this isn't your daddy's Carolina Panthers anymore. Gone are the days where the front office and the coaching staff is just going to preach to us that the answer is on the roster. No, they said the answer is not on the roster. We're going to go out there and try to find the answer, and we're going to turn over every leaf. We may not be able to find a long-term solution currently, but we're not going to just sit here and lie to you guys and act like things are okay. We're going to go try to find solutions with the best way possible by using the resources that we do have. The Panthers don't have a ton of cap space, don't want to give up a lot of draft capital, but they use the assets that they had with being the #1 waiver claim, and they went and exercised that to the fullest extent by adding multiple corners that can come in and compete for that starting position and on special team. And I'm not going to sit here and try to blow smoke to you guys and say that these guys are just some world beaters that are going to come in and turn everything around, but I at least feel good about them having a type, and like they said, be disciplined in what they want to do. They're not going to just sit there and say, hey, this guy really doesn't fit our system, but he's been here before and we spent this amount of money on him, or we claimed him last year and he played good for us. No. They have a type that they want to play with. They feel comfortable with these type of players in that system. So they went out and got those type of players to fit their system. It's not just this square peg, round hole, and just a little disconnect from the front office and coaching staff that we've seen before. No, there's alignment. There's transparency. There's guys being on the same page, making moves that actually make sense. Whether you agree with the moves or not, when they have an actual logic and thought process behind it, it's actually a lot easier for me to digest. And that even fits the bill in terms of the wide receiver group, because we know Terrace Marshall Jr. was the guy that had a phenomenal camp. I thought that he would stick around because of that. And with the new coaching staff, it seemed like they were very comfortable. I figured that they would give him one more go just because, hey, what harm could it do? But no, they were fine. The fact that Terrace Marshall Jr. did not play special teams was a big factor of him not sticking around. So they felt like it was best to just let him go and be on his way, regardless of the fact that they weren't able to trade and get compensation in return. But it really just lets you know where their head is. Because a guy like David Moore may not be anybody's favorite, but he plays all phases of special teams. He's been experienced with Dave Canales. He knows what Dave Canales wants to do. And he's also actually made some plays during training camp and preseason. So things like this start to make sense to you the more and more you step back and look at it and you realize that, hey, we're going in a different direction that we're not used to as Carolina Panthers fans, and we'll find out how it works out in the long term. And like I've been saying, we gonna see. All in all, they've continued to say that they're gonna be a developmental mindset type of team, but they're gonna do what best they can in this territory to be disciplined and try to get guys in. Hey, maybe you find some gems on the waiver wire. A couple of these guys that they brought in are some young players, but at worst case scenario, you can assess and move on to next year and keep the thing moving. And no harm, no foul with this waiver wire claims. Yes, you have to take on their contract, but most of these guys are on rookie deals. They're low cost, low risk options that the Panthers kind of have to take a swing at this point in their process of retooling. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out with that new mindset and new leadership that they have in front. You guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about them sending that message about, hey, we're trying to look for what guys we want. And if you're an exception, you may not be good enough. So if you're not good enough, we're going to move on and find somebody that we think is good enough and give them a chance as well, because it seems to be refreshing and a change of pace of what we're used to. So I want to get you guys' thoughts down below, but make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys watching. My name is Aaron Duncan. I'll see you next time. Peace.